Hello and welcome to today's video. In today's video I'm going to make a Baymax magnet out of Primo Sculpey based on his appearance in the Big Hero 6 animated movie by Disney. To start things off, I got my supplies ready, my tools, my magnet, my glue, and my reference picture for Baymax. I decided I wanted to do them a little more chibi style, which is that kind of big head style. Baymax is a very small head, but I kind of wanted to do one with a little bit bigger head than normal, or at least from his animated appearance. So I'm only using two colors here. I'm using pearl and black. And so I'll soften up the pearl and get it shaped out into kind of a pear-shaped for Baymax's body. And once I'm happy with the pear shape for his body, I'll start making his legs. So I'll roll some of the pearl clay out, and this is Primo Sculpey, which is what I use for most of my sculptures. And roll that out and then cut off a couple pieces of that and make this marshmallow shape for his legs. So I do press those firmly against his body to make sure they stay attached. But then as an extra precaution, I take the ball tool and smooth it in the back where it won't be seen to make it a little more sturdy, and hopefully it doesn't break off of the body. Then I move on to Baymax's arms. It's the same technique as I did with the feet, just doing a lot longer tubes. And once I have those about the same size, I'll go ahead and press them against his body, but I want to squeeze the top ends of them, the ones up by his shoulders, because he's a little more narrow at his shoulders than he is at his hand area. So I kind of squeeze those, angle them in a little bit, and then press them against the body so they stay attached. Now onto his fingers. So I roll out a much smaller snake. A lot of people call this a snake, as a technique for rolling out clay into kind of a tube. So I roll out a smaller snake and then cut off the 8 pieces for his fingers and his thumbs. And so they're basically like marshmallow shape. The second thumb wasn't quite big enough, so I did cut off another piece for that. And so I attached his thumbs first, and then to make it easier, I went ahead and put his fingers together. So that way I could just attach the entire group of fingers. And it'd be a little bit easier to attach those than trying to do one at a time like I did with the thumbs. So with the fingers, I did press them up against his hand area first, but then I pressed them, at the tips of their fingers into the body, and that way they would kind of connect there. Give them a couple different places to connect so that clay would bond to itself. And the last piece I have to do is Baymax's head. So his head's just kind of an oval shape, and like I said, I'm doing it a little bit bigger than the version in the movie, not quite as big as the reference material. I pretty much just shaped it out and thought, oh yeah, I like how this looks. So as with the feet, once I have that head on there, I did kind of score that clay a little bit into the back area, so that way it would make it a little sturdier. Now that the head's attached, I'll go ahead and do the indentions for the eyes. So I just used a ball tool for the 2 eye sockets, and then a smaller ball tool for the line in between. Then I'll just roll out my black clay. I'll start with the line in between, and then I'll do 2 ball shapes of, try to get them about as close to the same size. And then I'll press them into that indented area. And that way they're not sticking out. Baymax's eyes seem to be pretty flush with the front of his face or his head. And then I just take the ball tool and even those, or smooth those over, so that way they're not sticking out at all, and it looks like the eyes and that line go together. Now it's time to bake our clay. Remember, always bake your clay according to package instructions. Now that Baymax is baked and has had time to cool off, I'll go ahead and glue on a magnet. So I used Loctite super glue gel, just put a little bit in the middle there, and then take our magnet, press it against the back of Baymax, hold it in place for a few seconds, then he'll be ready to go on the fridge. And here is the finished Baymax magnet. So I went ahead and took this footage on a fridge, but I did go ahead and moved him over to a corkboard too, kind of set him up on there so you can get a better look at him. He kind of shows up a little bit better with the contrast of the corkboard over the fridge. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have ideas for future videos, please leave them in the comments down below. And remember, never stop creating. Bye. You can purchase items with my mascot on it from my TeePublic Store. And you can purchase my one-eyed blobs from my Etsy shop. Links to my TeePublic Store, my Etsy shop, my Facebook page, and my Instagram page are in the description box below.